Hello, this is Brent Clark and Christian Rich with ProAction Fluids. I want to thank you for joining us today as we do a product spotlight. Today we'll be focusing on ProDrill. We'll discuss how to use it effectively and how it is applied. Christian, first question, when we think of a water-based mud system, we generally think of water and bentonite mix. But when we think of a water-based mud system using a polymer in place of bentonite, how should we think of ProDrill?
Yeah, good question, Brent. So, in a bentonite-based system, the bentonite is kind of it's the base, right, for your drilling fluid system, and then you can add other products to it to change the rheology and change the properties of that fluid system. So with the ProDrill, really what we're looking at is ProDrill as being the backbone of our water-based drilling fluid system. So we don't have the bentonite in there because we're drilling in clay. Our philosophy is to not add clay to clay when we're drilling in clay. So we're going to use ProDrill as the base or as the backbone of that clay drilling fluid system. So anytime we're drilling in clay, we're going to be utilizing ProDrill.
Excellent. Very, very informative. Thank you. Christian, we're all very familiar on how to mix up bentonite, but how do you mix up these half-gallon bags or bottles of ProDrill? And specifically, how does it change your water properties to become an effective drilling fluid in clay soil conditions?
Yeah, good question. So super simple, and that's part of the philosophy behind the products is to keep it simple. So when you think about we'll say a 500-gallon mixed tank, you name the size, but we'll say 500-gallon mixed tank. For that to become a drilling fluid system, we have to take 500 gallons of water. Or in our case, when we're running the polymer only, the water is going to make up, more than 99% of that fluid system. So we really have a lot of, we need a product that can do a lot of modifying to that base makeup water, right? So the ProDrill is what's going to do that. So when it goes in the tank and you're going to add it through the top of the tank with mild agitation, it's going to disperse out and it's going to change the properties of that makeup water and give it the properties to turn it into an effective drilling fluid. So that's really what we're looking for it to do, and that's what a quality polymer will do, is it'll modify the properties of the fluid, give it the viscosity it needs to help you drill effectively in clays. It's also going to impart a charge to the drilling fluid system that makes it attracted to those clay soils. So yeah, that's really what we're looking for it to do. Now, in terms of mixing time, I'll hit on that real quick. A lot of times from the time you dump it in the top of the tank, you walk to your drill, sit down, you get, your locates reported back to you or kind of get set up with your next set of locates. That product's going to be ready to go to work. So mixes very quickly and does a great job.
Okay, excellent. So, Christian, once we've applied this ProDrill to our makeup water and it's fully hydrated, and as it travels down our drill string and goes into a clay formation, what kind of visual results should we see?
Yeah, good question. So, what we should expect, so as that drilling fluid makes its way through the drill stem, comes out the bit, the mixing energy of that bit combined with the fluid, we should expect those clays to break down and disperse. But then the cool thing that happens with the ProDrill and the way we formulated it is, and as you look at this picture on the right-hand side, or this little video, what you'll see is looks like little clumps of clay. The clay looks really light and fluffy. That's what we want it to look like. So what's happening there is a process called flocking. So as the clay disperses downhole from the mixing action, that ProDrill will actually bind it back together into little clumps. And those little clumps are all lubricated by the type of polymer that we're utilizing. So it's essentially encapsulating them, binding them back together into those clumps, lubricating them so they move through the bore path with minimal resistance. So this video, and I'll play it one more time. So this is really what we're looking for ideally. So your cuttings may change slightly based on the soil type, but ultimately this is what we're looking for. This is these are good looking returns. The contractor has his fluids to solids ratios dialed in. He has the chemicals dialed in and mixed properly. So this is really what we're looking for. And I'll play that one more time. So those cuttings are moving out with minimal resistance. We can tell it's flocking. The other way you can tell something is flocking generally is when it comes up to the surface, when those cuttings come to the surface. they'll start to separate from the drilling fluid, which ties to, a lot of times ties to some easier cleanup on the job site in terms of being able to vacuum excavate or vacuum up your spoils or your cuttings from that bore path.
Excellent. Very unique way of looking at that and how it breaks that clay down. You have a very interesting slide to the left. You mentioned how quick ProDrill will mix up into your mix-up water with very little agitation. Can you explain what's happening there in that picture on the left there?
Yeah, you bet. So we've added some things to the blend, or to the formulation on the ProDrill, that basically enables it to disperse really effectively and really quickly. So on that left-hand picture, what you're seeing is I think it's like a 4,000-gallon frac tank, not a ton of agitation going on in the tank. But as you dump in the ProDrill, what you should expect to see is a cloud, which is a good indication that it's dispersing very, very quickly with minimal agitation. And that's really what we want to see, because that goes back to, the efficiency in terms of our mixing process and being able to kind of minimize our downtime. So that's really what we're looking for, is you should see a nice little cloud. That's the product dispersing. It's going to build viscosity very quickly. So after a couple minutes, you should be able to reach down that tank and tell that water has built some viscosity. It's got some slipperiness to it. Generally, that's a good indication that the makeup water now has the properties you need to begin drilling. So, like I said earlier, a couple minutes after you dump it in, you should be ready to go to work.
Boy, that sure would make a big difference in getting us to work a lot quicker and being more effective on our job sites. So, with this, we've been talking a lot about the dosing of ProDrill. Is there any tools to help me assist me on making sure that I do the right dosing? Because some of them, the others could be very complicated.
Yeah. So we've really tried to eliminate the guesswork, and part of that ties back to how we formulated the products, the way we've concentrated the different ingredients in the package, right? So what we've done is reduced everything down to a 1 easy B. So in our case, that's an easy bag or a half-gallon easy bottle. So same container size either way. One's a flexible, package that you can dump the product in the tank, crumple it up, be on your way. The other one's more rigid, more heavy-duty type package. Just really up to you or up to the customer in terms of what they want. But yeah, so what we've done is we've made everything 1 easy B, 1 container per 500 gallons as your starting point. So whether it be the ProDrill, especially, we very, very rarely would have to deviate from that baseline recommendation, and it's very effective in clay all across the country. It's been validated, and that dosage is very effective, and that goes for all the products. So all those starting points are very, very effective in a broad range of soil conditions. So you can feel pretty confident that you'll be successful on the bore with a pretty simple mix. So yeah, everything is formulated 1 easy bag per 500 gallons. So no guessing. You're not guessing, do I need 1 quart today or 6 quarts today? We're doing 1 easy bag. So very, very simple. This is a mixing chart. So it can be stuck on the side of your mix tank. So just a handy little tool. You can reach out to us, request those, visit your distributor. They should have them available as well. So just a handy little tool to have available.
Excellent. I see there that we have multiple products, and as you know, as well as I know, a lot of times when you start a bore, the soil conditions are a particular type, and then it changes or transitions into a different soil type. How compatible are these with one another?
Yeah, great question, Brent. So yeah, that reminds me of another point. So whenever we're drilling clay, and I mentioned this at the beginning, we always run ProDrill. We don't have to run anything else with it, but there are products available that we can add to that ProDrill to add some different properties to our drilling fluid system. So in the case of the liquid products, you've got ProDyne and Clay Lock. So and we'll hit on these in other product spotlights, but really all these products can be added on top of one another to create additional benefits or to complement each other. The cool thing also, so if you're drilling out and you think you're supposed to be in clay, so you've mixed with ProDrill and you find that you've started to get in some sandier soils, you can add GeoSweep on top of that ProDrill, give it some time to mix, and it'll give the fluid system additional properties to help you get through that more challenging, more dense type soil condition.
Excellent. Yeah, it gives you these products sure give you a lot of flexibility on changing soil conditions, and good to hear that they're 100% compatible and that you could blend them together to come up with the right formulation for the right soils. So thank you. So, you know, Christian, can you kind of give us maybe a little bit of the lay of the land on, you know, product support and assistance on maybe technical questions, or maybe some assistance in the drill in the ditch?
Yeah, absolutely. So one great resource is our website. We also have a mobile phone app. Just search for that. The ProAction Fluids is what you search for in the App Store. But the other thing we have available is reps like myself and Brent, and then in addition to Ronnie and Miles. So we do have regionally focused product representatives. So we're out here, we're supporting the dealers, we're supporting the customers. So really we're just available for support 24/7. Then we obviously have our office as well. There's additional contact information for the office that you could find online, but we're always your first point of contact. So, you know, if people have questions, reach out to us.
Excellent, excellent. Hey, Christian, we want to thank you for your information and your knowledge, but more importantly, we want to thank the listener for joining us today. It's been a great product spotlight of ProDrill, and we'd like to just let you know that we will be doing a product spotlight of ProDyne next, and stay tuned. And we're excited to be able to bring you this information on some pretty exciting products. So thank you for your time again.
Absolutely. Thanks, Brent.
Yep, thank you.